Melbourne University women's IV8 had only 4 weeks to prepare for Inter-Varsity, so the first week was spent selecting a crew and preparing for this race, the final of the Ladies Open 8s Championship of Australia. The Melbourne University Dimboola Monash Composite 8, after a shaky start, soon spread-eagled the field and won easily. The Melbourne Uni Inter-Varsity 8 rode over 40 miles at Westlakes in training, and sitting on a rating of 33 put in a good performance for a scratch crew that was put together 3 days before this race. Six of the winning 8 were from MUBC, and the crew consisted of Anne Churnside, Gwen Bennett, Ruth Sweetman, Barbara Griffiths, Ruth Rycroft, Sally Harding, Pam Westendorf, Verna Westwood, Sue Palfyman, and the coach David Boykett. This is a race between the different factions of the media. The women's 8, seen here in the final stages of a course against the men's lightweight 4, was seated Cox Sal Inglis from Trinity, stroke Margot Foster Trinity, 7 Virginia Cratterville Trinity, 6 Jackie Marshall Ormond, 5 Janet Johnston Trinity, 4 Mary Jane Crabtree Extras, 3 Sarah Seacombe St Hilda's, 2 Sarah Pizzi St Hilda's, Bow Kate Colclough from Ormond. Queensland University regatta officials. Men's lightweight 4 was from Bow Brad Fenner, Paul Van Veenendaal, John McKenzie, Tim Hyatt Stroke, Tim McCoy Cox and coach Adrian McGinn, and the 8 Bow Paul Fogarty, Steve O'Brien, Jeremy Worm, Simon Cameron, Andy Cassidy, Andrew Holt, Sandy Cameron, Sandy Hutton, Cox Eric Nelson and coach Tim Hawkins.
Deserts of Sudan and the gardens of Japan, from Milan to Yucatan, every woman, every man. Hit me with your rhythm stick, hit me, Schützer, ich liebe dich. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick. Hit me, hit me, hit me. In the wilds of Borneo and the vineyards of Bordeaux, Eskimo, Arapaho, move their body to and fro. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me. Das ist gut, say, fantastic. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me with your rhythm stick. It's nice to be a lunatic. Hit me.
The white rugby jumpers were organised by team manager Yogi. The women's open 4 came out of the 8, and the man's sculler was Andy Rigby.
And the line from Bombay to Santa Fe.
The women's lightweight 4 was Bal Megan Polston from Trinity, 2 Mary Johnston extras, 3 Jeannie Skinner Trinity, stroke Margie Campbell Ormond, Cox Bud K Ormond, and coaches Norm O'Brien and Andy Rigby. That's the Adelaide men's 8.
Two fat persons, click, click, click. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Hit me.
There were 3 heats on Friday morning. The women's open 4, the men's 8s, and the women's lightweight 4. The men's 8 took delivery of a new Sykes shell in late April. In the heat of the women's Coxed 4, the Lady Margaret Cup, Melbourne's main competition was La Trobe University. La Trobe got an early lead, but over the final 400 metres, Melbourne passed them and won by 2.5 seconds. The first heat of the men's 8 was a close and colourful contest, with Monash, the title holders, winning, but their time of 6:15 was years slower than the heat 2, which had the 3 fastest crews and was a dress rehearsal for the Oxford and Cambridge Cup to be raced the following day. In heat 2, Adelaide in the centre led from the start. Melbourne, on this side, sat on a low rating and held down second place, 2.4 seconds behind Adelaide, whose time was 6 minutes 8 seconds. Sydney were content to ease up and row in the repechage. In the first heat of the women's lightweight 4, La Trobe University recorded a faster time than the women's open 4. Melbourne, with 3 members back from last year's winning crew, came in second. At 7:30 in the morning, all Melbourne crews had a short row. Margot Foster and Virginia Cratterville, stroke and 7 of the 8, had the women's coxless pairs race at 9 a.m. Final of the women's coxless pair, Melbourne University, the title holders, started the regatta well by decimating Sydney with a margin of 18 seconds. The pair came in and immediately climbed into the 8 for the women's 8s final. Meanwhile, Australian junior sculling champion Andy Rigby caused the upset of the day by defeating Christianers of Sydney. Andy Rigby put in a paralysing final 500 metres and broke Melbourne's Inter-Varsity sculling drought of 27 years to win by 9.1 seconds from Christianers of Sydney. Melbourne, the title holders on this side, got a good start and led the field by a length. Unfortunately, 2 crabs up near the bow seat put them behind Latrobe. However, over the final 200 metres, Melbourne lifted the rating and crossed the finish line 3 feet ahead of Latrobe. A jubilant crew returned, having won the main women's event for the 2nd year running. In the men's lightweight 4, Adrian McGinn, the coach, had publicly predicted a win by 20 seconds. His prediction was humbled when the crew powered away from the rest of the field to win by 28 seconds in a time of 6 minutes 53 seconds. At this stage of the regatta, Melbourne University were getting sick of winning races and decided to give the other universities a go. In the women's Open 4, the conditions had worsened and Latrobe got off to a very good start. Melbourne left their run too late and allowed Latrobe to scrape through and win by 2.5 seconds. This had been the 3rd race 2 of them had competed in within 90 minutes, and in the men's coxless pair, Steve Weir and Paul Reedy were surprised by the New South Wales pair, who put on a remarkable finish to win by 2.1 seconds.
gone. Maybe that's true. But I think I'll sing along.
The women's lightweight 4 move off for their race. And in the Oxford and Cambridge Cup, Melbourne on the fast station is outclassed by a fast Adelaide crew. Sydney on this side challenges Adelaide over the final 300 metres, but is beaten by 1.6 seconds.
Of Japan, from Milan to Yucatan, every woman's, every man. Hit me with your rhythm.
Adelaide's time is 6.1 minutes.
Liberty. Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me.
In the women's lightweight 4, Latrobe leads from the start and narrowly defeats Melbourne.
In the wilds of Borneo.
Jackie Marshall, sculling in difficult conditions, rows down the ANU sculler and finishes first. Inter-Varsity gains a new event, mixed fours, which Queensland wins. Melbourne University, with a full team, won 5 of the 9 events and came second in 2.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. It's nice to be a lunatic. Hit me, hit me, hit me.